Welcome to Brilliantly British. My name is Lawrence and today I'm going to show you, yes you, how to make fish cakes. They are fluffy and moist on the inside, crispy on the outside, and honestly, they are worth the effort, at least in my opinion. So, as I show you how to make it, sit back, relax, with a cup of tea in hand, and enjoy this episode. Fish cakes. Delicate flakes of fish, mashed potato, herbs, and fresh vegetables, all in a simple patty. Invented to reduce waste and in turn increase profits, fishmongers formed patties comprising of fish scraps, potatoes, and herbs, offering these to customers as a cheaper and more resourceful alternative, which over time became a national favorite. Yes. Nowadays, fish cakes are often made with different varieties of fish using premium cuts and are often enjoyed as a complete meal, either for lunch or dinner. After this episode, you'll know how to make and enjoy these delicious cakes, which are great no matter the season. And so, with that being said, for today's Brilliantly British fish cakes, you will need the following ingredients in front of me here. You will need some good quality fish. Cod is what I'm using in my case, but salmon, tuna, or any fish of your choosing works just fine. Some homemade Brilliantly British fermented butter is also needed, so follow the link up there if you haven't got some in your fridge already. Some plain white flour, some breadcrumbs, homemade breadcrumbs from Homemade Bread. Follow the link up there to learn how to make your own. You'll need some garden peas, frozen or fresh, it would work just fine. Some potatoes, some chopped celery, chopped onion, chopped carrot, some parsley, fresh or dry, a lemon, an egg, dill, also fresh or dry, some nutmeg, some pepper, and some salt. Now guys, whilst you're preparing these fish cakes though, hydration is important. You may get thirsty. So guys, as a Brit, I think the drink of choice ought to be a nice cup of hot tea. To start, boil some potatoes in water only, and then in a pan, melt some butter, then begin to fry chopped celery, onions, and carrots, seasoning with a pinch or two of salt, before covering and allowing to cook over a medium-low heat. The objective here is to soften and cook the vegetables without any colour. And so, after 10 minutes of cooking, uncover, stir, add a few teaspoons of water, taking in the aromas, before covering once again for a few more minutes. Once the liquid in the pan has evaporated, with the vegetables being cooked, transfer them to a large bowl. Then, in the same pan, melt butter, followed by the addition of plain flour, which should then be cooked for a minute or two, over a medium heat to cook the flour. With the flour now cooked, transfer it to your large bowl before stirring into the cooked vegetables. With your potatoes cooked, mash and add them to your cooked ingredients, followed by the addition of your garden peas in preparation for the next steps. Okay guys, what we're going to do now is add layers of flavour to this mash to make it more complex and rich in flavour. So we're going to chop up the parsley and then add the parsley. The moment you put the parsley in, it should be lovely and fragrant. Now we're going to add some dill to give it a quick taste to see if it's to my liking. Yep, that is exactly how I want it. That's how fragrant I want it to be. You should also do the same as you go along to make sure it's exactly how you like it. Now, the next thing I'm going to add is the lemon. Just give that a stir. Now what I'm going to do is add a pinch of nutmeg. You don't want to go too heavy with the nutmeg because it can overpower the herbs that you've put in. So you just want a pinch. Give it another taste. Got a subtle nutmeg note coming through, and it is exactly how you want it. Now we're gonna add some salt and some pepper to taste. Crucially, you really want to add enough salt and pepper to compensate for the fish that you're going to add. The reason that we're doing the seasoning in this way and in this particular order is because once you add the raw fish to your mash, you won't be able to taste it anymore unless you want to risk food poisoning. Finally, I'm going to crack in an egg. Okay, with the mash seasoned, the next thing to do is to chop up and then add our fish. You can cut the fish in sizes that you prefer. In my case, I'm going to cut them in quite small pieces so that it's well distributed within the mashed potato. And guys, that's it. The fish cake mix has been made. As you can see now, it should be really, really thick, because this will mean it will be easier to work with later on when it's shaped and formed. To form your fish cakes, first fill and dust a wide bowl and a chopping board with flour, respectively. A chopping board, crucially as well, that is able to go into your fridge. You don't have to use a chopping board. You can use a tray, just as long as it can go into your fridge. To form the fish cakes, I'm going to be using a pastry ring like this with its corresponding press to form it perfectly. If you don't have one, then you will unfortunately have to do it by hand. It's not impossible, it's just a little bit fiddly. After placing your pastry ring in your bowl, fill it 3/4 of the way up or an inch thick before compressing with a wet press to prevent sticking. Once compressed, gently turn your filled ring over onto some flour in order to coat the other side before releasing the fish cake from your pastry ring with the aid of your press. Finally, to finish forming your fish cakes, coat the side with flour before delicately transferring to your flour-dusted chopping board. Proceed by repeating the preceding steps until all of the fish cake mix has been used, before laying your fish cakes in your fridge to cool and solidify. To coat your fish cakes, once cool, salt and pepper your eggs before homogenizing, then delicately egg wash on all sides, transferring them to a bowl of breadcrumbs to coat on all sides. Repeat these steps until all have been coated, and at this point you can also freeze them for the future. But if you are as hungry as I am, I'll show you how to cook them for the best results. Over a medium-low heat, in a pan filled with about 5 millimeters of oil, fry your fish cakes undisturbed for about 10 minutes on one side or until crunchy and golden brown. After which, flip your patty over and then cook until crunchy and brown, making sure as well that the internal temperature is hot, ensuring that the fish within has cooked. Anyway, with that being said and done, that leaves us with one more thing to do, namely tasting. Guys, these have honestly exceeded all of my expectations. This recipe is so good. I haven't even tasted yet and I already know it's going to be amazing. Now, as they are moist and fluffy on the inside. You don't need any condiments, but hey, we're Brits. We love condiments. I'm just gonna put a bit of mayonnaise right here. Let's dig in. Oh, the crust is so good. So good. And a bit of mayonnaise on there. 3, 2, 1. Yes. Oh, the herbs coming through this are so good. The fish hasn't been lost. There's still texture in there. The vegetables, the carrots, the onions, the celery. Oh guys, I could go on for hours how good this is. And it's not dry. Fish cakes are often dry and this is far from it. And don't even get me started, guys, on how good the crust is. Don't even get me started. Guys, look. Get your skates on, go over to your local supermarket, get the ingredients and make this, please. Don't take my word for it. It's fantastic. But guys, you need to experience this for yourselves. Please. Guys, thank you so much for allowing me to show you how to make fish cakes. Like I said before, and I'm saying it again, don't take my word for it. Guys, these are amazing and my words don't do this dish justice. I know you like this episode, so please click on the like button, subscribe to this channel, follow us on all of the social media platforms that this channel is on, tell everyone you know about the brilliantly British food on this channel, and I will see you next time. And that's a wrap.